Hello everyone, welcome back to the Just Ask Alumni podcast. On today's episode, I'd just like to start by thanking our sponsors, who are Aġenzija Żgħażagħ's Invest Scheme, EUPA's Solidarity Corps Scheme, and Malta Food Agency. Today, basically, it's an important episode because it's the first time we've had a partner as a guest, and basically our partner and new sponsor, Malta Food Agency. So we have Justin from Malta Food Agency, and basically they are our new sponsor and also a key partner in the Malta's food ecosystem. Today we're going to be diving into food, culture, and I'm probably going to be very hungry by half of this episode. So we can just start. So before we start with the deeper conversation, let's start with a bit of a warm-up round. Basically, in one sentence, can you tell us who you are?
So, I'm Justin John Camilleri. I'm the Chief Business Development Officer at the Malta Food Agency. I've been in the food industry for over 20 years, I think, in total. I have a Master's in Business Administration, and today, along with my team, we are working to get the food sector at the top of the agenda of the country, basically.
20 years, I'm assuming you've seen many things change in 20 years in the food industry.
Yeah. And I was in different levels. I was in the manufacturing, on the shop floor. I went up at the senior management level. Then I went a bit far from the food industry, and now I'm back again at the Malta Food Agency for the past 3 years.
And what's one thing that people can learn from you?
Adapt. One needs to adapt according to a lot of changes, due to experiences, due to opportunities as well. And if one will know how to adapt, ultimately I think that person would be easier to succeed.
And obviously adaptability is good for every kind of sector, not just the food sector. So it's also a beneficial thing to have throughout.
Yep.
Now, if you can explain, what is Malta Food Agency?
So the Malta Food Agency is a government entity. Our main role is to operate the Bitkalija, fruit and vegetable market, Pishkarija fish market, and the farmers market. But besides that, our priorities lies to promote local producers, because in the end, local food producers are the people that feed us on a daily basis. And we promote the importance of local product in itself, the quality and how important it is for consumers to choose the local produce.
Exactly.
Because of a number of reasons.
Exactly. So for basically produce from Malta and locally sourced food
should be the first choice.
The first choice, not imports.
One needs to support each other.
Exactly.
It's impossible to have 100% of any of it. Really.
Issa, what are Malta Food Agency's core goals and responsibilities?
So, our core responsibilities is that our markets operate smooth, so that we have the supply chain in relation to food going well, fruit and veg, fish, and any kind of agriculture product. But our ultimate vision is that we want to see that the food sector, the agriculture sector, the fishery sector is seen as an important economic pillar for our country. Because normally we tend to look at agriculture or fishing as it's only hard work. But it's far from that. One can do a business in these sectors nowadays. We are seeing a good trend of young entrepreneurs entering the sector as well. So we want to encourage new people to get in this kind of business, while we want to encourage and inspire the people that are already in the sector to invest more and grow even further their production or their business.
And the young entrepreneurs that are joining, are you seeing a fresh kind of point of view that they're bringing, or is it?
Yes, most of them. It's a total different perspective, because their focus is not on the traditional hard work, but they are operating as a business. They are developing new products. They are using other farmers or other producers to work together to get more capacity. For example, we have seen one of the markets that we operate is the farmers market, which today has become a very good platform for farmers to test the market. And obviously over there we have our inspectors to make sure that the product is actually coming from the Maltese Islands. And sometimes we get reports of possibility of fraud. Really. Recently we received a report, for example, that there are raspberries in the farmers market, which normally raspberries doesn't grow in Malta. But then after our investigation, it was noted that there are a number of farmers which are doing experiments and are developing new products like raspberries or asparagus, for example, and they are using the farmers market to test the market whether it is going to accept this product or not.
Okay. Like I previously asked roughly, how has Malta's food identity evolved throughout the years?
So we are seeing a very positive trend. However, there is still much that one needs to do. But for example, if we look at our how we work, a few years ago we used to go run after establishments to use the Maltese produce. Nowadays we are seeing these well-established establishments coming to our markets requesting to use our product. So whereby a few years ago we tried hard to sell, nowadays
it was
businesses
more of a challenge to.
Yeah. Nowadays, businesses are using the products and they are boasting and proud that they are using the Maltese product. Obviously, this didn't happen in one night. It was a strategic approach from our end, where first we started to target the appeal. So we wanted consumers to have to want the Maltese produce, to increase the demand, for example. And what happened, we encouraged consumers to go to the market, and if they do not find the Maltese produce, they ask for it. And nowadays we are seeing most of the supermarkets in Malta are stocking Maltese produce. We are seeing restaurants, new restaurants opening with a concept of using only Maltese produce, and they are using it to promote themselves. We are working in a way to try and get sectors together. For example, we are working with the tourism sector to show that, listen, the food sector is important for tourism. The food sector is also important for culture, for tradition, education, health. So combining all these sectors together, we are putting food at the very top of the agenda of the country.
Exactly. So obviously every sector, every business, every industry has its challenges and those kinds of things. So what would you say are the main challenges and opportunities in the local agriculture and food supply?
So obviously one of the challenges, and which is a bit also an opportunity as well, is the change in population that we're having. We are seeing multicultural people coming over, and there might be the risk that some people do not go to look directly for local produce, because obviously it is not their local produce. But on the other hand, we have an opportunity that now the market is getting much bigger. So over there, we are working, for example, with different groups and organizations. We are identifying some products which normally can be grown in Malta, but normally are not grown. And we are encouraging young farmers or farmers by giving them an idea of the supply value chain, how it's going to work, to use and introduce these new products. We have seen also evidently a number of types of fish which the Maltese people usually didn't choose, but now the expats are using them. Right, so that is another opportunity in itself.
And do you think maybe you could, for example, foreigners that are entering Malta, do you think that, for example, you could find a way to market for example, traditional Maltese foods in a way that the foreigners would also be interested in trying them or purchasing them?
So one of our, it's a culture or mentality thing. For example, we used to, when the Maltese people, when we mention local produce, automatically when we think of recipes, we think of the old recipes. The kaulata, soppa tal-armla, and these kind of things. However, we are working, and we have worked with a number of chefs, and we have created new recipes to give idea of how one can use the local produce with a twist for new recipes. For example, a very simple recipe that we developed, which is not rocket science, it was chicken breast, but instead of using barbecue glaze, we used carob glaze, which is found in all Maltese households, because normally they use it when you have a cough, for example. And we did a glaze with that, and it came out excellent. And obviously that can be used on different items as well. So yes, these things give us some opportunities, and an opportunity that we are grasping is that the Malta Food Agency in the coming 2 years will be opening the first food innovation hub in Malta, which also would be very interesting even for your alumni and students, because this is going to be targeted mainly to small players trying to develop new products before making capital investments. In a nutshell, it's going to be, there will be a number of processing areas, one with fruit and veg, another one for dairy, and another one for fish. And people will be able to come over there. We will help them and support them to teach them some techniques, how to use the equipment, and they will be able to test the market.
And this would be good, for example, for the farmers which you were previously saying that were trying and experimenting with the raspberries and the asparagus.
If you're a farmer and you are doing raspberries, you can come over there, you can use our equipment to develop a jam, for example, with raspberries. And once you will be able to see that it is successful, and when you put it in the market, you're going well, you can calculate the payback of investment, and you go and make the capital investment yourself, and you will know that in 2-3 years time you will get the payback. But you are not running any risk at the beginning with uncertain moves. So
this food hub would be perfect for entrepreneurial and innovative farmers who would like to try something else but not have that big risk of playing it safe, basically.
It will help to kickstart startups, basically, with that. And unfortunately in Malta we see that a lot of product, we don't have transformation of product. We rarely see small product transfer. For example, if you go in other countries like Italy, Spain, you will see like tuna, for example, or other type of fish like mackerel, which in Malta normally we use it as feed, and we don't consume it. But they put it in olive oil cans, in cans with olive oil, and it's sold at a premium. So if we can target and identify this kind of markets, it will open another option for other products that we can use that we normally do not use. And it will give us a better market.
Exactly. And so you've mentioned the food hub. Can you mention other ways which the MFA is trying to be innovative? So you're being innovative, but also staying true to the Maltese heritage.
Of course. So we are the entity that takes care of promotion and trade mainly. So one of our ideas is to try and identify and create different selling points. We are working on a number of projects in the Alicross village, in the farmers market, and even in the Bitkalija, where we're going to be developing new selling points. In these selling points, we are going to combine a number of concepts. First and foremost, there's going to be the retail area, which is a shop. But in the Alicross village and in the new farmers market, we are planning to have a cafeteria and an eatery which will feature local products. Besides that, so the producers will find a place where to sell the products targeted for tourists and even locals. But then we're going to also have a show kitchen. We're going to have a number of show kitchens, and over there we'll be able to show tourists, people who are interested in the local food sector, how some of the products are developed, and we'll be able to show even how to do different recipes.
And this is obviously good, especially if there would be tourists and foreigners in the area. It's also a very good way to sort of share our heritage and culture with them in the form through food, basically.
Again, it's a strategic approach. So we are working to have better supply, and we are working to increase the demand as well, and different demands, not just the raw product. Now we are looking at having different kind of products to add value, and in the end, once you will be able to transform this kind of products, we will automatically will be reducing also food waste, which is a very important topic for us. Maybe we'll go into detail a bit later. So this kind of projects will help us to also work hand in hand with other entities. You mentioned history, culture. A few weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, we combined forces with the Valletta Cultural Agency, for example, which is not normal, Malta Food Agency combining with culture. And we organized a very successful event. It was the Valletta Local Food Festival at the Upper Baraka Garden, and it was a huge success. We had around 25 different producers preparing food and selling, and we had thousands of people coming over to try different dishes and learn about the story of producers, basically. Exactly.
Now, as I previously stated, Malta Food Agency is the JA Alumni Malta partner. What drew the MFA to the JA alumni community?
So, as we said earlier, now we are shifting focus to show that our sectors can be entrepreneurial. And obviously, the JA targets entrepreneurs at their first steps. So, we're better to start to show that, listen, there are huge opportunities in the food, agriculture, or fishing sector. So, obviously, it was a no-brainer for us to join forces with you to learn more what the young entrepreneurs are looking for today, and at the same time we show them different ways that they can be successful in our sectors.
The food sector. And what would you say is the importance of youth innovation and entrepreneurship in the food sector?
It's very important because times change, and obviously one of the hardest thing to change is mentality. We have experienced that in the past 3 years because before the Malta Food Agency, agriculture hasn't changed in over 50 to 60 years. And but thankfully, changes that we are implementing are being received very well, even by farmers who nowadays are a bit of aging population. But we have seen projects where we are introducing a lot of digitalization, for example.
Exactly, and probably you'd see.
But there is a very good uptake. At first, we were reluctant and we were a bit afraid that there won't be, a 60-year-old farmer using digital platforms. But we are seeing around 300 logins per day to use our platform. Because nowadays, what's happening? All the farmers that come into our market can use their mobile device or their PC. They have a web-based app, and over there they can see all the transactions that happen with their produce.
Okay.
So they know that they put in, for example, 10 cases of tomatoes, 3 of them went to JA, 2 of them went to the supermarket, and they also will know the price for which market they managed to get. So they have access to data as well today.
Okay. Now we'll continue after a short break. So now we'll just move to something else. Okay, so now we're going to play a quick game. It's called This versus That. So basically I'm going to give you 2 different options and just pick your first thing you like. Don't overthink it. So, sweet or savory?
Savory.
Cheese platter or cold cuts?
Cold cuts.
Local ġbejna or important parmesan?
Local ġbejna.
Goat's milk or cow's milk?
Cow's milk.
Eat in or eat out?
Eat in.
Cook from scratch or heat up leftovers?
Cook from scratch.
Recipe book or improv cooking?
A mix, a bit improv mainly.
Spices or herbs as your go-to magic?
Spices, yes, spices and herbs.
Spices or herbs?
Spices.
Spices. Cinnamon or chili flakes?
Chili flakes.
Quick lunch or slow dinner?
Slow dinner.
Friends over or a quiet meal alone?
Friends over.
Cook together or potluck style?
Potluck style.
Summer, who's the boss in the kitchen, you or them?
I am the boss.
Street food or comfort food?
I eat everything, so it's a
just everything.
No.
Issa, final one. Food is comfort or culture?
It is comfort, mostly comfort.
Okay. Now, let's go and talk about the future of food in Malta. So, what is the MFA excited about in the next 5 years?
So, obviously we're excited about because we are doing a lot of changes. We have projects that we have started now in the next 2 to 5 years will be implemented and hopefully will start to flourish, like the ones we mentioned. For example, we are going to have a new farmers market with which is a 10 million investment. There's going to be tents, facilities for the farmers and for the consumers. There's going to be an eatery and the show kitchen. We're going to have the food innovation hub. Again, hopefully we'll be able to go even further. We are looking to strengthen and do infrastructural work to have a new, better fruit and vegetable market. So yes, basically we are looking for things to keep changing in a positive manner. We want hopefully to see a mentality change in players within the agriculture and fish sector, which mainly leads to better food choices, and hopefully we'll be able to even have much more different type of products in the country and more players coming in. As mentioned earlier, one of the things that concerns us sometimes is the aging population with our stakeholders. Thankfully, we keep seeing this trend for new players to come in and invest and start doing things in our sectors.
Now you're mentioning a lot of change, a lot of innovation, etc. How could you get students? How can students and young entrepreneurs get involved in the MFA and also maybe these changes that you're making?
So we do a lot of activities and outreach. So I encourage even people that are seeing this podcast to follow our socials. We are on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on all the media platforms, and LinkedIn for more professional people. Mm-hmm. And they can easily get in contact with us, or myself or my colleagues. They can find us easily on our socials, and they also feel free to visit at our offices. We can offer coffee if they want, and chat a bit about what they can do. Our team, actually, I take care of the business development part of the agency, and from time to time we work with interested people in our sectors, and we help them on how they can do a successful business from a small venture. So yes, students or colleagues or other stakeholders can easily get in contact with us for us to help them to find a way. We are working to have the possibility to introduce more initiatives for people to be closer to our sectors, and obviously we encourage everyone to participate in the events that we do, because all the events that we organize, we always include a bit of educational side. So obviously there will be a lot of food, because there will be a lot of food producers, but we always try to create an experience. And
so people who are still learning and getting the ropes of certain things would be welcome.
They would be perfect to attend. For example, we mentioned the farmers market. The farmers market, we have seen a huge increase in popularity, mainly because we changed it from a market to an experience. And we did that because we encouraged producers to interact more with consumers. And now, instead of having people coming and buy and leaving, we encourage them to stay, speak with the producers, they learn recipes, they learn methods of how to cultivate some things.
It became an experience rather just a place to go buy your food.
Yes, and thankfully we managed to also add the variety of products. So for example, if you go to the farmers market, you will find fish, you will find all kinds of artisanal products. In the past, actually, it used to be called S2E1, which was a bit traditional and a bit close-ended. Now we went with farmers market because farmers in itself as a word combines all the sectors.
If you could give any advice to any young people interested in food, entrepreneurship and these kinds of things, what would it be?
Plan ahead, because it's important to plan. Nowadays there are a lot of, even the department within our ministry, they give out a lot of information. So one would do well if they organize a couple of meetings with these agencies and they see even what kind of support there are. There are a lot also of financial support in these kind of sectors. And we can help them to plan ahead in a business plan, for example, and create the idea will be transferred in a plan.
So obviously the food industry is quite a particular industry. It's not just something usually that you wind up in. Are there any specific skills that young people should be focusing on, or certain skills that as an industry you'll kind of pick on?
What we are seeing today, which basically it's in all sectors, not just the food really and truly, it is not a one-man show. So one doesn't need to have the ability to do everything, but nowadays with a bit of creativity and a bit of strategic approach can easily enter in this sector, because if someone has the creativity to think of a product, for example, he can easily find experts, and we can help over there as well, to help him or help her create or develop the idea, the concept. Obviously now it's even evident, for example, if you see the number of influencers online, I think three quarters of them, if not more, they try to include food in their content, because food sells in the end. It is a need.
Exactly.
But we're seeing a lot of people adapting and being more creative with different foods.
Also, there are probably trends regarding food. Are there any trends which are popular at the moment?
Currently, we are seeing a good shift. We are seeing a lot of people going back to the roots. So there was a trend which is still very strong, that people go towards convenience. But now we are seeing an increasing trend that people are going to the raw side of things, and even ourselves, for example, at home. I usually buy produce and then I stay at home, cutting it, freezing it, and
not
making it
finding
ready.
the ready-made from the freezer.
Yes. And if you see the trend, for example, we are seeing people using products that for a lot of time weren't used anymore, like butter, for example, lard, and this kind of thing. So we are seeing that a lot of people are going back to what our fathers used to consume.
Okay, that's obviously good for us.
It seems so, and also there is a trend towards healthier eating as well.
Nowadays.
And it is something that the Malta Food Agency is planning to keep pushing, the importance of nutrition. For example, we are developing a mobile application which will be mainly related to fish.
Okay.
And the application would be, the user will be able to see what kind of fish is being sold at our market, the Pescaria, and which store bought from the Pescaria. And you see, for example, listen, today there is the lampuki, which the season is pretty close by. And you see, okay, which stores have it. You will click on it and you will get also the nutritional value of the fish. There will be also a community base, and you will be able to also upload recipes, see how other people are consuming it, and
That's very good
Great.
for people who don't like to think about cooking or plan and these kinds of things.
And we encourage these things, even if you follow our social media. We put a lot of different features, and in all features, sometimes we try to include how one can consume or use the product. And we always ask other people, tell us, how do you usually consume it? And it's a popular segment because people like to try things, especially when there is food.
Food. It makes everyone go, it makes the world go around.
It's an international language.
Exactly.
Because food is consumed at the highest levels with people that don't speak the same language, but they are around the table agreeing together
Exactly.
about
It connects
food.
us.
Yes, it connects us.
So are there any projects which the MFA would like to see the JA alumni do?
So we can do a project which can be a pre-entrance for our food innovation hub. So if we can get students to come up with a line of products, for example, they can start creating the concept, and obviously we can help them over there. And once the concept is developed, they can come over to our innovation hub and develop the product over there. From there, they can take the product to our selling points and sell the product as well. So basically, it's a circular approach because then by the market they will gather feedback and improve or adapt their recipes or.
So basically, someone can come to you even if they just have an idea. They don't need to come to you with a foolproof plan. They can just contact you.
We are there to help. Obviously, depending on our resources, but we have a lot of people that come over. Listen, I have an idea to start this kind of product, for example, or this kind of proof, or this I want to open this kind of restaurant. We can guide easily, put them in contact with producers, put them in contact with experts. That's why we're there in the end.
To help out.
To help out.
Are there any ways which the youth can connect to the MFA, or are there similar institutes, for example?
So we are easily connected through our socials. There are email addresses. The messenger is monitored on a daily basis. We have our offices, which are open on a daily basis. And obviously, when we have the events, people can come over and speak with us and request information.
Are there any upcoming events which anyone can keep an eye on?
So in October, we are planning our flagship event. We have the Festa Malti, which is a festival of food. Last year, we had our largest edition. We had around 55 food producers, and there was a lot of entertainment as well, bands, scouts, you name it, it was there. And a kids area, and we had between 35 to 40,000 people coming over. So we are now getting ready for this
Hopefully
event
bigger
to be even bigger. Yes, it already shows that most probably we'll have more producers than the last year. We are also present in the International Food Festival and other events coming over there. There's also the Fish Fest in September, where again we boast about our quality and rich fish sector that we have. And pretty much that's it. Then we also look at international events as well. We're going to do something in China in November. We're going to be in October. We're going to be in Sicily, where again last year we had around 6 food producers. We brought them to Sicily. We promoted our food. We had also our chefs preparing local dishes with local ingredients. And we're going to do the same this year, but on a larger scale, because until now we already have 12 producers, which is double as last year. And we'll be working with entities like Visit Malta and Heritage Malta to create events for wine appreciation, for example, and something next year in January that we'll be going to do together to promote the Maltese food sector in the Green Week in Berlin.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you.
Hopefully people can also monitor your social media for these kinds of events.
Perfect, yes.
Amazing. So any young entrepreneur who is looking into working in the Malta Food Agency, in the food sector and these kinds of institutes, you have where to contact them. I would like to thank the sponsors again, so Aġenzija Żgħażagħ Invest Scheme, the EUPA Solidarity Core Scheme and the Malta Food Agency. Thank you once again for the support that you guys give us in being able to do what we do.
Thank you for the work that you do and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. So now you can wait for our next episode and see you next time.